Okay, so as of today, it is the last day of 2015. That's right, folks. Today is the last day of 2015. I mean, as of this recording, it's actually like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So I decided to stay up a little bit and talk about the movie I just saw tonight, The Hateful Eight. I finally saw the general released version of the film, which is a little shorter than the roadshow version, and pretty much made for those who are unable to see the 70mm, version of the film, which kind of sucks because I kind of wanted to see the roadshow version, but unfortunately I have no theaters for that, which kind of sucks. Oh well. In the meantime, though, I'm going to talk about just the regular version of the film and how much it's awesome. Seriously, this movie is fantastic. It's probably one of his best films, honestly, and one of the best movies of the year. Like, pretty much everyone has seen Star Wars at this point, whether you like it or not. You've seen The Force Awakens once, at least once. And for those who love it, saw it more than once. So with that being said, you already saw Star Wars, so now go see The Hateful Eight, because it's a movie that needs to be seen. At least if you like Tarantino movies. Or like a really good story that takes place during the Wild West. Or just during like a little after the Civil War. The only reason I wouldn't recommend seeing it is if you don't like Tarantino. If you don't like his type of style of filmmaking or like his sense of humor and his dialogue, if you don't like any of that, then yeah, don't see it. It's definitely a Tarantino movie. But otherwise, it's a movie that I do highly recommend seeing without even going into details about my thoughts on the film. In fact, I'm going to take this hat off now because it's just kind of irritating me. Instead, I would use something more, fitting. This is the closest thing to a cowboy hat I could find, so just deal with me. Just deal with it. The movie is about Major Warren, played by Samuel Jackson, is a bounty hunter who's trying to get to the town of Red Rock. I think that's what it was called, Red Rock, to get out some bounties. Well, his horse is down, so he takes up a ride on a carriage with a mysterious driver named Old B. And the carriage is Kurt Russell's character, John Ruth, who is delivering his bounty of the prisoner known as Dolores. I mean, I'm sorry, I come a little unprepared. Daisy Domergue. Okay, yeah, I have the cast pulled up just to be double check names. Sorry about that. Unprofessional, I know. Daisy Domergue. Yes. And along the way, they end up getting caught in a blizzard and are forced to stay in a shack for a couple of nights till the blizzard passes through so they can continue on to Red Rock. And while they're stuck in there, it's not just the three of them, it's not just Kurt Russell, Daisy Domergue, John Ruth, Daisy Domergue, my God, I'm already messing up, and Warren. It's also two Confederates, one being the new sheriff of Red Rock, and one just being a general, a very cranky old general. The hangman of Red Rock, and the trailer is known as the Little Man, but he's actually the hangman of the town. A regular cowboy, just there visiting his mama for the holidays. And a Mexican who works at the shack itself. And that's supposed to be the Hateful Eight, but that's not, for some reason, not including the driver of the carriage's OB. But it's one of those movies where I guess the reason why he's not including the title is because he's not that hateful of a character. Because he's honestly the one character that's just kind of like this guy that's just kind of there. And that's it. He doesn't really do much in the film compared to everyone else who played some sort of small part in the film, and in their own ways kind of these almost somewhat hateable characters. And I know you're probably saying oh, I hate the characters. No, I didn't hate the characters. I thought they were very well done, honestly. It's just the characters that, whether they're good or bad, and what their characters are for, what they do, it shows that even in the good of some people, Samuel L. Jackson's character fought in the Civil War to help free slaves, of course, while the Confederates obviously don't like black people and were trying to keep slaves in chain, and they definitely do go into this in the film. So be prepared for some kind of like political undertones in the film. But actually, I thought they were very well done. Actually, I liked where they went with that. But even with that being said, like he joined the war to do what we consider the right thing, anyways. That was free slaves. But there are points during the film where even Samuel Jackson's character Warren, shows that he has a dark side to him. That even you would sit there, chills going down your spine at how disturbing he also can be. And if you've seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. It's gonna be a very infamous scene now, in my opinion. It's on par with like what's in the briefcase from Pulp Fiction, in my opinion. Some people may think I'm jumping the gun too soon, but that is how I feel about the scene. I'm not gonna say what it is, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those movies that it's a mystery movie. Like I said, it's a clue. It's like Clue almost. It's why exactly said. It's the setup is they're stuck in the shack and whatnot, all tied up together. But they get the idea that someone is lying. Someone is not who they say they are, as Kurt Russell's character is saying. And you think someone is in cahoots trying to get the prisoner free, whether it's trade the money in for themselves because her bounty's $10,000. Either that, or they're in partners with the prisoner. It's one or the other. So, and that's the whole movie. It's like, who could it be? And I will admit, by the end of the movie, even I was like, oh, like, it did catch me off guard who it was. But I will say, you do find out pretty early. And when I mean by pretty early, I mean pretty early for the film's running time. Because the movie is 3 hours long. It is. And you find out around the hour and 30-minute mark. And going by what I saw in the film, about an hour 30 minutes in or 40 minutes in, one or the other, you find out who's behind it. Somewhere around there, at least, I think. And then the rest of it is just the rest of the plot. It's just kind of like resolving the rest of it. So you find out pretty early. And I know that sounds like a spoiler to you people. But that's just me saying without who it was or whatever. I'm not going to say who it was because I want everyone to see it. But I'm just saying, I will say this. You find out pretty early due to the film's running time. You're not going to find out like near the end of the movie. You find out around the halfway point of the film. You find out who's behind it. Maybe a little after the halfway point. So you'll find out pretty early. But because how you're interested in what's going on with the plot and the characters and how they are in these situations. Also, the dialogue is very good. The humor is very funny, honestly. There are times the humor is very funny in this movie. But it's definitely Tarantino humor, where some of it is very dark. And some of it is very gross and sometimes. And very disturbing. But still is funny nonetheless. It's one of those films that knows how to do that. Because Quentin Tarantino just knows how to handle that kind of humor. Now, some people are obviously not into that kind of humor, and that's fine. If you're not into like the dark, twisted humor that Quentin Tarantino does, this is not going to change your mind at all. But if you like that kind of humor, like I do, you'll like this movie just fine. You'll find this movie funny at times also. And also disturbing when it needs to be. There's things that is really disturbing in this film, and rightfully so. Hence the Samuel L. Jackson scene that I just talked about earlier. That's a very disturbing scene. It's what else am I? What else can I say about the film? Oh yeah, also, the film looks beautiful. It's well shot. It's a beautiful looking film. I took the hat out because it was just bugging me. My head's getting itchy. The film looks beautiful. It's a well shot movie. Like it looks gorgeous. Even not even seeing the 70. The roadshow version of the film, even when seeing it just on a regular theater screen, it still looks beautiful. It looks great to look at. The whole film is just perfectly well shot together. The production design is perfect for this kind of film. The score also fits the setting of the film. Sets it up pretty well. The tone, the setting, it all works together. It's very disturbing at times. It's very claustrophobic. Like, for some reason, there's a few moments that you kind of feel claustrophobic a few times because you're stuck in this shack together with someone that is probably going to kill you in your sleep. So it's very claustrophobic, honestly. You kind of sit there kind of nervous because you don't know what's going to happen. It's very disturbing, but in the right way. In fact, the only thing I didn't like was... The only thing I can think of I didn't care for was... There's a point in the middle of the film where it obviously was the intermission for the Roadshow version. And actually, I looked it up after I came home. And yes, this part I'm talking about did happen right after the intermission. So, okay. Right after, there's a point in the film where it feels like that was where the intermission was for the Roadshow. Because in the main version, there is no intermission or anything. It just keeps going. So, okay. That's fine for me. I'm okay with that. But, and I know this may sound a bit of a spoiler, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Without going into details, there's a narration that pops the heck out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. A narration just happens to come out of nowhere. And of course, it was Quentin Tarantino that says the narration. And it's random. It pops out of nowhere. It's like, why is there a narration going on? And even if I saw the Roadshow version, I still would find the intermission unnecessary because all it does is it just establishes what the characters are doing during that scene. But if you watch the scene, their movements, emotions, and dialogue that they say during that scene just says it up already. Like, seriously, they show and say what the audience needs to know just through that. So the fact that Quentin Tarantino is narrating the scene, trying to say, oh, by the way, the character's doing this, the character's doing that, it's like, Quentin, we're not that stupid. We know what they're doing. So why are you making us hear you narrate what's going on when we already know what's happening? Like, I'm sitting there going, like, did you thought we were that stupid? Forget, like, even during the Roadshow version, even after the intermission, you think we're that stupid to forget what happened 15 minutes ago? Like, I'm sorry, that's the one thing I thought was completely out of nowhere and unnecessary. It actually kind of took me out of the movie for a brief second. But after that, aside from that, I thought everything else was perfect in this film. The humor is funny. It's very well shot. The acting is very good from everyone. The acting is excellent from everyone. It's silly at times, yes. There's a point near the end of the movie that I was laughing my head off because there was a few moments that is just so silly. But it works because it's like it's a Tarantino movie, so he definitely makes some of its sick humor very silly and over the top. But that's what he does with most of his movies, and I don't mind that at all. In fact, actually, I find it kind of entertaining. Like, heads will blow up just by getting shot in the head. And then with shot in the head, you cause your whole face to blow off. Silly? Yes. Fun? Totally. The ending, I know some people didn't like the ending. I'm not going to say what happens, of course, because I want you all to see it. But I thought the ending was fine. I thought it was a very satisfying ending, honestly. I was just fine with the ending, honestly. I was perfectly fine with it. I was fine with the explanation to the bad guy and whatnot, the explanation for why they're doing this or whatever. It works in my opinion. Or possibly bad guys, one or the other, because they established that it could be more than one person. Which is true. It could be more than one person. Who knows? Everything is perfectly well done, honestly. The only thing I didn't like was the narration. That was it. Aside from that, I loved it all. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Not only is it one of the best films of the year, this is like on my top 5 list of best movies of the year. Top 5. Totally top 5. So, with that being said, I highly recommend you go see The Hateful Eight. Like, you've seen Star Wars now. You have. Admit it. Even if you don't like it, you've seen it. So see The Hateful Eight now. You definitely deserve checking it out. So yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on The Hateful Eight. I highly recommend you go see it. With that being said, before I go, I will briefly say the reason why I didn't do a Star Wars review was because of 2 reasons. One, I knew everyone was going to go see it no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter what I say, you're going to see it anyway. It's not like that, but it's a movie that you can't honestly talk about without spoilers. And I guess now I could do a review on it because everyone's pretty much seen it at this point, at least most people. So I guess maybe I'll do one now, like sometime after this video. But at this point, I don't really feel like it, honestly. That's lazy, I know, but at this point, I don't really feel like sitting there talking about Star Wars: The Force Awakens again. After seeing it 3 times, as much as I love that movie, I don't really feel like sitting here discussing my thoughts on it at this point. Other than just saying it's a great movie, because I only had like 1 or 2 problems with it, because otherwise I thought it was a great movie otherwise. If you didn't like it, that's fine. I don't see why though, because I thought it was a great movie, but that's just me. Oh, and 2, the reason why I didn't do a video is also because, like I said, 1, this whole spoiler thing. And 2, I just kind of want people to see it, just go see it and just have a fun time with it without me sitting there trying to talk about my thoughts on it. I don't know, it's one of those movies I really didn't know what to say about it after walking out in a video. I don't know what to really say about the Star Wars: The Force Awakens in a video. So I decided just to not bother, other than just, when I did the unboxing for the posters for The Force Awakens, I decided to just end it right there, not bother doing an actual video review of it. So, yep, that's it. So with that being said, that's my thoughts on The Hateful Eight, and also why I didn't do a Force Awakens review, and probably why I'm not going to bother at this point, because I don't really feel like it. Lazy, yes, I know. So with that being said, my next movie I'm going to go see is probably, well, I mean, I didn't see any of the holiday movies. I mean, I don't really want to. None of them really stick out to me. The only one I might see is Joy, but probably not. Maybe I'll see that one, I'm not sure. But I'm definitely seeing The Revenant next. Like, next movie I'm definitely checking out is The Revenant. And then after I see The Revenant, then I'll definitely post up a top 10 best films of the year list or something like that, because it's definitely time to be talking about best films of the year and also worst films of the year. There are some horrible movies that came out this year. So anyways, with that being said, I will say this to you all: Happy New Year, everyone. Go all nuts, and I'll see you all next time. See ya.